get out your pen, your paper, your Storygraph, your Goodreads, your Libby, your public library's website, whatever you use. That's what you want to have open during this video. In this video, we are going to be talking about Black books that are coming out in the second quarter of this year. That means April, May, and June. And there is so many books that are coming out. I want us library folks to be #1 on all of these lists. So you have to know what's coming out in advance so you can hurry up and get to the top. So let's get into it. Okay, so y'all gonna see me looking down because this is where my notes are. I have not read any of these books, so I don't even really know what they're about. But I'm gonna just give y'all just a little bit of, just a little something to see if y'all interested, and then, you know, you take it from there. Okay, so first up, April 1st, we have Where Shadows Meet by Patricia Caldwell. And this book follows Favor, who sacrifices her wings for the woman she loves. Okay, this is a fantasy novel, by the way. This is a fantasy. I believe it's also a young adult fantasy. Favor sacrifices her wings for the woman she loves, Thana, only to curse Thana and condemn herself to solitude. This novel weaves a dark fantasy romance across eras, exploring themes of sacrifice, fate, and love with a unique take on vampire lore. That sounds good. Patricia was involved in like an anthology, I remember. I can't think of the name of it right now, but from my understanding, this is her actual debut novel. So this should be interesting. And then for April 8th, we have Flirting Lessons by Jasmine Guillory. And this is a queer romance. Avery is fresh from a breakup and looking to get out there and mingle, but she doesn't know how. Enters Taylor, who's also fresh from a breakup, and she actually has a bet with her friend that she can't go more than 2 months without hooking up with someone. So Taylor somehow decides that she's going to start giving Avery flirting lessons, and obviously we know what happens after that. You can see the cover. Also coming out on April 8th, we have Happy Land by Dolen, Perkins, Valdez. And this is the same author of Wench, which I read and enjoyed, and Take My Hand, which was very popular. I didn't read that one yet. But this is Happy Land. Okay, this is about a girl named Nikki. And Nikki has been summoned to North Carolina by her estranged grandmother. Instead of revealing answers about their recent past, Mother Rita tells Nikki a shocking story about her great-great-great-grandmother, Queen Luella, and the very land they stand on. Nikki then learns about the kingdom of Happy Land and how much of her identity is rooted in this land. I am interested in reading this, and I want to see how it compares to The American Queen by Vanessa Miller, because they're both talking about the kingdom of Happy Land, right? Except I believe Vanessa's book is about Queen Luella, and this one is through the lens of her descendant. So I think it would be interesting to read The American Queen and then maybe Happy Land right after. Then on April 8th as well, April 8th is going to be one of those days where it's just so many. Like it's a heavy drop, okay? The Creation of Half Broken People by Siphiwe Gloria Ndlovu. This is a gothic fantasy multi-generational story that follows a family's journey through love, loss, and resilience in Zimbabwe, exploring the deep bonds and fractures that shape their lives. This sounds definitely like my type of book. It's using the buzzwords that I love. Multi-generational. I also love gothic books, and I love fantasy. So, you know, it's giving everything that I need. Okay, then we're moving to April 15th, and then we have When the Harvest Comes by Denne Michele Norris. And this follows Davis Freeman, A young black gay man estranged from his father. On the eve of his wedding, Davis learns of his father's severe car accident, compelling him to confront past traumas and reassess his relationships. I absolutely love the cover of this book, and hopefully it's on its way to me because I asked for it. So let's hope, okay? And then coming out also on the same day, we have Fishtails by Nettie Jones. And this book was actually originally published in 1984, and they had decided to re-release it, obviously with a new cover. And one of the interesting things that I found out about this book is that this is one of Toni Morrison's last acquisitions when she was at Random House. And for me, it just makes me want to read it even more, just to know that she clearly read this book in its very early stages and decided, you know what, this is something that should be published. So let me just tell you what it's about. This novel offers a mesmerizing journey through the high-rolling times of 1970s New York and Detroit. Okay, I like that. It chronicles the life of Louis Jones, a spirited and troubled party girl navigating the complexities of freedom and consequence. I like that. It sounds like it's gonna be a wild ride, if you ask me. With this old nasty pump on the front. Oh, and then look at the author's photo. Listen, if it don't tell you that this book is probably going to be very risque, like, look, I ain't never seen no author's photo like that. Usually they be all buttoned up, like she got breasts hanging and cleavage and stuff. I love it. Thank you to FSG Books for sending me this. Okay, and coming out on the same day on April 15th, we have All the Noise at Once by DeAndra Davis. And as you can see, this is a young adult book. And who sent me this? Thank you very much to Simon & Schuster for sending me this. This young adult novel centers on Aiden, a black autistic teenager who dreams of playing football like his star quarterback brother Brandon. When Aiden is accused of a crime he didn't commit, he must navigate a justice system stacked against him, exploring themes of race, social justice, and disability. Okay. And then on April 22nd, we have The Summer I Ate the Rich by Maika Moulite and Maritza Moulite. They are sisters, by the way. I met them years ago at BookCon, and they were just the sweetest, the absolute sweetest. And both of these ladies are so beautiful in person. Like, I knew who they were immediately, and they were so really nice to me. I love the cover of this book so much. This is another young adult book. This novel blends Haitian folklore. They are Haitian, by the way. This novel blends Haitian folklore with sharp social commentary. It follows Brielle Petitfort, a Haitian-American teenager who discovers her hidden zombie abilities and uses them to exact revenge on wealthy elites who have harmed her family. The story scrutinizes socioeconomic and racial inequities through a modern-day fable. That sounds so good. Like, that just sounds so good. I do love a good revenge story. I do. So, yeah, I'm interested in that. And then coming out on the same day, we have Zeal by Morgan Jerkins. And as you can see, I have a bookmark in here. I have a little bit, like this, how much I have left over. Just this little bit. This is probably the first time I've gotten a book in the mail and immediately began reading it. Out of the envelope, into my hand, and straight into page 1. Listen, I haven't stopped since, because when I tell you that this book is so freaking good, like, if you are a fan of black historical fiction, multi-generational stories, I mean, listen, get into this. Add this to them pre-orders. If you're a library person, put this on the list right now, because I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. This is going to be a book that people are going to be talking about for the next couple months. I guarantee you. And I'm so proud of Morgan Jerkins. Honestly, like I'm gonna even say that I've enjoyed this one more than I enjoyed Call Baby, and I loved Call Baby. But this is very good, and I can tell that her writing has definitely improved. You know, I'm highly impressed by it. So in this story, we first meet a couple that are at their engagement party named Ardelia and Oliver. And they are at their engagement party, and Oliver's family presents to Ardelia a letter. It is a letter that has been written by a woman named Terza, and it's a love letter to a man named Harrison. And once Ardelia reads the love letter, she is immediately like, what happened with these two people? And immediately Oliver is just like, how do you think we got here? Because then we immediately go into Terza and Harrison's story. And when I tell you, this is showing what happened to a lot of enslaved people directly when the war was over. As soon as the Civil War was over, and as soon as you know, it was now announced that the enslaved people were free, this is the aftermath. This is what we're getting, because Harrison was actually in the war, and then we see what it possibly was like for our ancestors when this war was over, how they were treated by the white people. I mean, amazing. And I was trying to hold off, but I need to finish this book, and I'm probably gonna finish it tonight because I cannot wait. I must know what happens. And honestly, for real, put this on your list. Okay, so also coming out on April 22nd, we have On My Own Making by Daria Burke. And this is a memoir. It details her journey from a challenging childhood marked by neglect and poverty to becoming a successful C-suite executive. The book delves into her exploration of trauma, healing, and personal growth, incorporating insights from neuroscience and psychology. Burke emphasizes the power of reshaping one's destiny and offers a framework for transforming past diversities into strengths. So it sounds like it's going to be a memoir of resilience, and I love reading books like that, because they're always extremely inspirational. And I was actually happy that the author had reached out to tell me about this upcoming book, because I absolutely am in love with this cover, and it sounds like something that, you know, that I would be interested in. And of course, we could not talk about this publication day without talking about Matriarch, which is Tina Knowles' memoir. I don't need to say nothing else about this one. Y'all already know who she is, Beyonce's mom. I mean, you had to be underneath a rock to not know who Tina Knowles is. And I'm definitely looking forward to this one. I love the cover so much. And I'm also interested in knowing a little bit of background information as far as her relationship. I feel like there's some tea in there, but you know, not too much, because you know how like the Knowles be, like they don't be giving us too much. You know, they're very private people. So the fact that this book is even coming out is very exciting. Oh my god. And another book that's coming out on the 22nd is called Everything Is Fine Here by Irene Tushabi. This is a coming of age story. It follows a young woman grappling with her sister's truth in a society that punishes homosexuality. Confronting societal expectations, family bonds, and hidden truths, Ain must make a difficult choice that leads to harrowing consequences. This one sounds really good. Okay, so that is finally it for the 22nd. And now we're going to move over to April 29th. And I have to tell y'all about a book that I'm personally very much looking forward to. And that is The Edge of Yesterday by Rita Woods. I am a fan of Rita Woods. I have read all of her books so far. She only had 2 so far, but I read them and I enjoyed them. Okay, Remembrance and The Dream Walker. I really enjoyed those books, and honestly, I really don't think she's gonna disappoint me. I just don't. Like, the track record has been good already. I just feel like it's just gonna be on an upward trajectory. That's how I feel. Okay, let me say what this book is about. Okay, this is a contemporary speculative novel exploring themes of time travel, which Rita Woods is very good at, and self-discovery. It follows Greer Kofi, a principal dancer with a renowned Harlem company, and her husband Sebastian, an architect with a prestigious midtown firm. Their seemingly perfect life unravels when Greer develops a career-ending neurological disorder, leading her back to her hometown of Detroit. Amidst her struggles, Greer finds herself transported to 1925, where she meets Monty, a doctor, and confronts the complexities of identity and destiny across time. This sounds so good. That don't sound good to you? This sounds so freaking good. I'm actually surprised that it's kind of short. Like, considering her other books are much longer, this is only 276 pages. Very surprising. But this sounds really good. I love that it is, you know, the present day is at least in New York. And, you know, I will take it. I will take it. So, very much looking forward to this. Thank you to the folks over at Forge for sending me this. Okay, and another book coming out on the 29th is going to be One Way Witch by Nettie Okorafor. The series is called She Who Knows, and this is the second book in that trilogy, which is also in the same world of Who Fears Death, right, which is also by Nettie Okorafor. I already had plans to read Who Fears Death this year, but at least now I can read Who Fears Death, and then I can go into this trilogy, which will then lead me to this book. I'm not going to give a summary for this one because obviously this is the second book in a trilogy that's also tied to another series. So that's probably going to be a little spoilery. Okay, so that is it for April. Now let's talk about May. And May is very near and dear to me because it is my birthday month. So I'm going to be out in these streets. So I'm hoping that maybe these May books, I could probably get some early or something because, you know, I don't really do too much reading in May. Okay, so first we're going to start off May with a children's book because Lovey was so nice to tell me about her book and I wanted to make sure that I included it. This book is called Little Troublemaker Defends Her Name by Lovey Ajayi Jones. And this introduces little Lovey, a well-intentioned girl whose attempts to help sometimes leads to unintended consequences. The story explores themes of kindness, responsibility, and learning from mistakes, making it relatable for young readers aged 4 to 8. Okay, so make sure y'all get that one for the littles. Okay, and then on May 6th, we have Audrey and Bash Are Just Friends by Tia Williams. And this is a young adult novel. We are following Audrey, who we first meet in Tia Williams' book called 7 Days in June. She was the daughter of the female main character. So this is her own book. Okay, this is a romance that centers on 16-year-old Audrey Mercy Moore. She is a high-achieving junior. She teams up with a enigmatic new senior named Bash Henry to complete a list of dares intended to provide material for a self-help book she's writing. Despite their agreement to remain just friends, their undeniable chemistry challenges their resolve. And now we're going to move over to May 13th, and we have The Devil x3 by Ricky Fain. First of all, thank you to the folks over at Little Brown for sending me this. I am very interested in reading this book. I may be reading it sooner rather than later, okay? And I love how it has those, what are they called? Deckled edges. I love these. They make it so interesting when you're turning the page. Okay, this novel follows 3 individuals who encounter the devil, each offered a unique version of salvation. As they grapple with their choices, they also question whether they can save themselves. Steeped in the spiritual traditions and oral history of the Black diaspora, the story presents a baptism by fire and water, introducing a fresh voice in American fiction. And I'm really excited for it. It sounds very good. I know that this is also a multi-generational book. Yeah, it's historical fiction. It's looking very attractive to me because it is very on brand for me to pick this up. And of course, we also have Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan that is also coming out on May 13th. Y'all already know what this book is about. This is the third book in the Skyland series, and I'm not gonna read the synopsis for this either because this is about one of the characters. You know, I think she's like a side character in books 1 and 2. You know, definitely look out for that one if you have been reading the series. Also on the 13th, I think the 13th might be a hot day as well. It's like every month there's like one day out the month that's like super hot. Like so many books coming out on that day. The next one is going to be Dark Maestro by Brendan Slocum. Now, Brendan Slocum has written a few books that feature a musician, some kind of thrilling aspect or mystery, right? Like the violin conspiracy and some other ones I can't think of. But they all have like very similar things in common, right? I did try to read the violin conspiracy and I just wasn't interested. I think it's because it was like talking a lot about like music and stuff like that and instruments, and I just wasn't interested in that. Like I wanted to just get to like the mystery part and the mess, and but this sounds very interesting. I think I might pick this one up. I'm gonna give this one a try. Okay, this one follows Curtis Wilson, who is a cello prodigy from Southeast DC who achieves acclaim in the classical music world despite his father's involvement in drug dealing. Oh. When his father turns state's evidence against a powerful cartel, the family enters witness protection, forcing Curtis to abandon his musical career. Determined to reclaim their lives, Curtis and his family devise a plan to confront the cartel, blending his musical talent and their collective ingenuity in a high-stakes struggle for survival. That sounds so good. I like stuff that be involving like the cartel and mobster stuff. Of course, not in real life. I don't like any of that stuff. But in books, I love that stuff. And I can't even imagine, like, how is your music going to stop the cartel from killing y'all? We just gonna have to find out, right? We just gonna have to read the book and find out. By the way, I am gonna have all the books with the dates down below in the description box, because y'all know first of all it's a heavy lift, but you know I gotta look out for y'all. It's a lot of books we're talking about. It's a lot of information, and I want to make sure that if you need to, you could just copy it all from the description box and, you know, print it out and whatever you need to do, right? And also coming out on the 13th, we have My Father's House, an ode to America's longest serving black congressman by John Conyers III. This is a memoir that reflects on the life and legacy of Congressman John James Conyers Jr. The author offers a personal perspective on the father's dual role as a significant political figure and a family man, highlighting the challenges and triumphs experienced within their family. The narrative also explores the congressman's interactions with notable figures such as President Bill Clinton, Martin Luther King Jr., and Rosa Parks, providing insights into the personal dimensions of these historical relationships. It just sounds very interesting, and I love that it is written by his son. Now, this is a strange publication date, but this book is actually coming out on May 15th. This is called Sunstruck by William Rafet Hunter. This one follows a young aspiring black musician who becomes entangled with the affluent Blake family during a summer in the south of France. As he grows closer to the enigmatic Felix Blake, He is drawn into the world of privilege and excess. Upon returning to London, their relationship is tested by personal demons and societal pressures, leading to profound consequences. That sounds really good. And it sounds like maybe they had a little secret thing going on. I like the sound of that. But that is a strange publication day because publication days are usually on Tuesdays. So, okay. Interesting. Next up on May 20th, we have Esperance. I can't say this word. Esperance by Adam Oyebanji. Detective Ethan Kroll investigates the deaths of a father and son whose lungs are filled with seawater, uncovering ties to a Nigerian medical student. The story explores racism, trauma, and justice. This sounds very interesting to me. I like the cover, and it definitely lets you know that this is going to be a dark story. And this next one, I believe, also comes out on the 20th. I can't see the date for some reason. But this is Sins of Survivors, a Carter Brothers novel by Joe McLean. And this is part of Blair Underwood Presents. But this was actually sent to me by Amistad. This was also sent to me by Amistad. So, shout out to them for the free books. This one is a crime family saga set in Detroit's Black Bottom neighborhood during the 1930s. After a tragic incident in 1908 Alabama, brothers Benjamin and Jasper Carter flee to Detroit, where they establish a powerful dynasty through business acumen and involvement in the criminal underworld. As their children come of age with ambitions of their own, internal conflicts arise, threatening to dismantle the family's empire amid external pressures from rival power players. This sounds really fun. I love a crime family kind of thing. It's giving mob type energy, and yeah, this sounds really good. And lastly, we have May 27th, and we have Hermatin Season by Tochi Onyebuchi. And this is described, I don't have much of a description for this one. This is described as a hard-boiled fantasy. This upcoming standalone novel is likened to a blend of Raymond Chandler, I don't know who that is, and P. Jelly Clark, I know who that is, set in a post-colonial West Africa. And that's all I needed to hear, is that it's set in post-colonial West Africa, and it is fantasy, and it's also written by Tochi. That's it. That is it, and that is all. Okay? Hopefully I can get my hands on it because I would like to read it. Okay, so now we have finally made our way into June. And when I tell you it's so many books coming out in June, it's like they like, you know what? I don't want y'all to have no summer. No summer. Just sit yourselves right here and read. Because of the way they pumping out all of these books for June, it's specifically all these black books for June. I'm excited. I am excited. Listen, I'm going to take the book with me. You can't make me stay home. I'll take the book with me. Okay, so first up for June 3rd, we have The Catch by Yrsa Daley Ward. I'm so happy to have this copy in my hands. I really am. Thank you so much to the folks over at Live Right. So excited. So excited for this. The author of this book is a well-known poet. In particular, I love when a poet writes fiction books because I have not been disappointed yet. I just love it. Like the way they write, the way they are able to put sentences together, like it just flows and it's just like, oh yeah, like tell me more. They could be just describing the most mundane thing and it's usually so beautiful, and I want that for me. We deserve this. Okay, so this book is about twin sisters Clara and Dempsey. They are forced to confront their past when Clara spots a woman resembling their missing mother Serene in London. Their differing beliefs about the woman leads to a confrontation that reveals deep family secrets. Yes, family secrets. Okay, I love it. That's it. That's enough. That is enough. And then also too, I love reading books about sisters because we know that like relationships between sisters be just so complicated. Like it just be complicated. It be like, I love you, but I cannot stand Joel's. Like it be a lot. Okay, it be a lot, and I love reading about it. I just love reading about it. So I'm very much looking forward to this one. This feels way longer than it is, but it's actually not that long. It's like 326 pages. Okay, and also coming out on June 3rd, we had Meet Me at the Crossroads by Megan Giddings. This was also sent to me by Amistad, so thank you very much to them. I started reading this a little bit, not too much, and I just know that this is a speculative novel where all around the world one day a bunch of doors just appear. Like one door in each place with the knob. People are knocking on the door, they trying to open the door, and the question is, where did these doors come from? How do you step into the door? Because multiple people are trying to walk in the door. You know, you just see like a random door, you're curious, you want to see like, okay, what's, you know what, I don't even like where I'm at right now. I'm ready to leave. Like wherever this door is gonna take me, like then that's where it take me. I'm going. Okay, I'm going to this door, and everyone is trying to figure out how to get into these doors. So I think this is going to be an interesting one. Let's say that I really enjoyed Lakewood by Megan Giddings. I did not enjoy The Women Who Could Fly, which was her second book, and this is her third. So I'm really hoping for a 2 out of 3. I still have high hopes for it, even though I didn't care for the last one. I'm still gonna pick this up. I'm still gonna read it. I'm still rooting for it. Okay, this next one is not by a black author, but I put it on here anyway because I could not pass it up. It's about a black woman, and you know, I want to know about it. It just sounds too interesting to me. Okay, this one is called Madam Queen, The Life and Crimes of Harlem's Underground Racketeer, Stephanie St. Clair. Okay, now, when you say Harlem, my ears are going to perk up because that means that this was going on in New York, and I've never heard of this woman. I have not. This is the biography of Stephanie St. Clair, a pioneering black crime boss in early 20th century Harlem, who ran a successful gambling operation while also challenging corruption and advocating for her community. So like, you know, she was for the community, you know. She was supplying jobs in the community. Now we know Bumpy Johnson, from my understanding, she was his boss, which is very interesting that we know who Bumpy Johnson is, but we don't know who Stephanie is. Are you surprised? Because I'm not. You know, give this woman her props. You know, if she was the HBIC, then say she was the HBIC. That's it. Okay. Next up, coming out on June 10th, we have Camilla's Roses by Bernice L. McFadden. And this is a re-release. I told y'all that this book was coming back out in a few videos ago. I told y'all that this book was coming back out. So I hope y'all not shocked, right? We got a new cover, which is very pretty. I did read this book a really, really long time ago. I don't remember this book at all because I barreled through it at the time when I read it, and this has to be at least like 17 years ago when I read this book. Like this is like a long time, and I would say it's in a great spot for me to reread it right now. This novel follows Camilla, a young woman who returns to her hometown and confronts the complexities of family, community, and personal identity. McFadden delves into themes of heritage and belonging, offering a poignant exploration of the African American experience. I mean, she do that in all her books, but okay, go off. So yeah, I'm excited for that one. Also on June 10th, we have This Is Not a Ghost Story by A. Marie. Yes, that is A. Marie the singer, the same one. Okay, and I knew this was coming. You know how I knew this was coming? I'm gonna tell you. Because A. Marie used to be a booktuber, which some people probably don't know. I used to watch her channel all the time. I loved watching A. Marie talk about books. It was just so fascinating to me to see this woman who, you know, people know, like, you know, like a singer and stuff, and just see her like excitement and enthusiasm for books that I was interested in reading, for books I had read. I really loved watching her channel. It might still be up. And then eventually she came out with an anthology, which was, you know, a bunch of different stories by different authors. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, she gonna write her own book at some point. She is going to write her own book, and when she does, I'm gonna be right there. Okay, now thank you to the folks at William Morrow for sending me this, because now I'm definitely right there. I got it in my hand. So let me tell you what this book is about. This is a satirical novel that tells the story of a black man who walks into the light and becomes an instant celebrity for being the first visible and verifiable ghost. Okay, very, very interesting. And then she said this is not a ghost story, so I don't know what kind of story it's gonna be. Okay, maybe we gonna get that out in the very beginning, that okay, he's a ghost. Now moving on with the story. So maybe it's a love story. I don't know. That is as far as I'm going to go in the synopsis of this book. I don't want to know anymore. I just want to read it. Also coming out on June 10th, we have Great Black Hope by Rob Franklin. This story centers on Smith, a young queer black Stanford graduate who is arrested for cocaine possession shortly after the mysterious death of his close friend and roommate, Elle. As Smith navigates the complexities of the legal system and societal expectations, he confronts questions about identity, privilege, and the true nature of his relationships. Sounds very interesting. Very, very interesting. Also coming out on the 10th. The 10th is listen, last month for May, it was, what, the 13th? Now, June 10th. Okay, June 10th. So, it's looking like it's maybe that second week of the month that's the hot day, you know. Okay, so we are gonna have A Murder for Miss Hortense by Mel Pennant, and let me tell you what this is about. A retired Jamaican nurse resided in 1960s Birmingham, England, when a member of her local partner savings group is found dead with a cryptic Bible quote beside the body. Miss Hortense's investigative instincts are reignited. Determined to uncover the truth, she delves into the mystery, confronting long-buried secrets within her community. Okay, so we have a mature lady that is like an amateur sleuth, it sounds like. I don't know why the hell, but this galley is super heavy. And another book that everybody is trying to get their hands on. Hopefully I could be one of the people that get my hands on it. But, you know, if not, I'm going to just get on the library list like everybody else. We have King of Ashes by none other than S.A. Cosby. This is about a man named Roman Carruthers. He returns to his Virginia hometown to find his family in turmoil and must navigate dangerous criminal ties to protect them. Okay, that's good enough. I don't need to know anything more. I mean, you hear the name. You know what it's hitting for. Also on June 10th, we have Joy Goddess, A'Lelia Walker in the Harlem Renaissance by A'Lelia Bundles. Okay, this is going to be a biography of A'Lelia Walker. She was the daughter of Madam C.J. Walker, and A'Lelia Bundles is her great-granddaughter. Apparently, Madam C.J. Walker's daughter, A'Lelia Walker, was like this kind of socialite in Harlem. Okay, and very much like a central figure in the Harlem Renaissance, which is Super, super dope. It sounds like she was rubbing shoulders with a lot of big names. Let me tell you some of the names. James Weldon Johnson, Zora Neale Hurston, Paul Robeson, W.B. Du Bois, Florence Mills. Like, she was chilling with all the big names, and I just know it's gonna be some good stuff in here. Very much looking forward to this. And thank you very much to Scribner for sending me that one. Also on June 10th, because June 10th it's just never gonna end. No, actually, this is my last June 10th book. The Great Man by Kiera Davis Lurie. This one is set in 1940s Los Angeles. This reimagining of The Great Gatsby follows Charlie Tremel, a young veteran caught in a world of ambition and intrigue involving the enigmatic magnate Levi Mann. Now, let me just say this. I did not like The Great Gatsby. I do not like retellings of The Great Gatsby typically. However, I am interested in this one. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I am interested in this one. I'm probably gonna give it just I'm gonna try it out. You know, it's definitely going to be a library type of book for me, because, like, what sense would it make to purchase a book that is a retelling of a book that you don't like? So, but I do want to give it a chance. Now we're moving to June 17th, and now we have These Heathens by Mia McKenzie. Set in 1960s Georgia, the novel follows 17-year-old Doris Steele as she seeks an abortion, becoming involved in the civil rights movement and discovering the lives of queer black communities. This sounds very interesting. I also really love the cover. I love the cover. Another book that I'm highly anticipating for June 17th is When the Music Hits by Amber Oliver. I've also been following this woman, Amber Oliver, on Instagram for some time now, so I knew she was in the publishing scene, but I'm happy to see that she has an actual book coming out. Very exciting, right? Billy Graham, a young black woman from the Bronx, navigates the high-stakes music industry while grappling with personal sacrifices and the pressures of success. It's set in New York. That's really it. Like, I just think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. Okay, and then also on the 17th, we have Tony at Random by Dana A. Williams. I mean, who's not looking forward to this? Who is not looking forward to this? Okay, this book delves into Toni Morrison's influential role as an editor at Random House, highlighting how she championed black literature and culture. Author Dana A. Williams provides an insightful examination of Morrison's editorial legacy and its impact on American literature. Very interested in this. What was it like working at Random House? I mean, hopefully this book can dig into that. Like, how was she treated? You know, like, how was she treated? Was her voice heard? Did she have to fight for the black books that she acquired to get published? And I don't know if this book is gonna give me all of that, but I'm definitely interested in seeing. And also coming out on the 17th, we have The Ghost of Gwendolyn Montgomery, and this is written by Clarence A. Haynes. Gwendolyn Montgomery, a talented publicist, finds her life unraveling as she becomes entangled with supernatural forces. To confront the ghostly disturbances affecting her and the world around her, Gwendolyn must face past demons and uncover hidden truths. This novel blends mysticism, humor, and adventure in a contemporary urban fantasy setting. This sounds so fun! Like, so fun, and I love the cover. Very interested in that one. Then we have on June 24th, The Tiny Things Are Heavier by Ifa Sinachi Okonkwo. This debut novel follows Somi, a Nigerian woman who moves to the United States for graduate school shortly after her brother Mezi attempts suicide. Plagued by guilt over leaving him behind, Somi struggles to adapt to her new life as a student and immigrant. The narrative explores themes of love, grief, family, and belonging. That sounds like it's going to be very good. Another book that I'm highly anticipating is Misbehaving at the Crossroads by Honoré Fanon Jeffers. This one is a nonfiction. This is a collection of essays reflecting on Black women's journeys and societal issues with a focus on race, gender, and identity. So this one should be interesting. And then on June 24th, we have my girl Shanora Williams. I am a fan of Shanora Williams because I've yet to read any of her books and it just didn't hit for me. I've yet to read one. This one is a psychological thriller, as they all are actually. All of her books are, except her romance ones. And she has a lot of like dark kind of romance ones. I don't read those, but the thrillers, I read those. Investigative reporter Rose Howard seeks solace at a North Carolina lakefront cottage amid marital turmoil. Her retreat turns unsettling when her former best friend Eve disappears, prompting Rose to delve into a web of secrets and lies that challenge her perceptions of trust and truth. That sounds good. These all sound good, to be honest with you. Okay, so that is all I have for these 3 months. I mean, it's just so many. Let me know down below in the comment section which ones are you specifically looking forward to. I told y'all the ones that I'm definitely looking forward to. Let's discuss it, okay? If you have enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Share this video with somebody that you think would be interested in knowing what's coming out. And if you are new here, make sure you subscribe for more bookish content like this. I thank you guys for watching, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye!